What's up, YouTube? Instagram? YouTube? Steve, TheWhiskyWatch?
YouTube. Steve, TheWhiskyWatch.
At ScotchNSniff?
ScotchNSniff? YouTube.
And Instagram.
YouTube, Instagram?
And Instagram.
Instagram. Instatube. It's weird. It's getting weird. So
what we're doing now...
Today we're going to talk about...
how awesome people are.
People. We're going to talk about people. This is something in the whiskey community. I don't think I've ever seen one video about people, about whiskey. No, don't get me wrong.
You've never seen a video about whiskey?
No, not about whiskey.
People.
About whiskey people. Like we are obviously all
blend it.
Correct. So that's what we're gonna do. Not the nose or brand ambassadors or people who are in the industry, but people who are outside the industry, but just like psychotic enthusiasts. Psychotic's a strong word.
Or got pulled into the industry because they had such a good, strong personality and they were so enthusiastic, so outgoing, and just genuinely good people.
Absolutely. And so that's what we're going to talk about today. Good people in or out of the industry. Actually, wow. Yes. All these people have been pulled into it. It's a whole All right. So here we go.
So do you want to start on your side and I'll move? We'll meet in the middle.
Okay, we can do that. So here on my side, this is Single Malt Alliance. If you follow him on I can already see this video being so cool because I'm going to put the little thing down at the bottom or make Jason do it because I don't know how to
He just thinks it's cool because he's in it.
It's going to show Single Malt Alliance. Anyways, Single Malt Alliance, a.k.a. Ben, is a cool guy who started out whiskey Instagramming. What he would do... he would do really, really long format Instagram reviews where he really talked about a whiskey and dug into the brand and dug into everything about the distillery and where the whiskey came from. And he would post these giant posts where like 2-3 pages of posts where he would just talk about the whiskeys. And like because of that and his enthusiasm and how much he really loves it, he works now for a Scotch Malt Whiskey Society, which this will date the video if he doesn't work for them at some point. But so that's who he works for now, Scotch Malt Whiskey Society America.
Or if he owns it by the time that this...
Tom, look out. He's coming for your job, son.
Ben's the man.
So Ben just did such a great job being an enthusiastic whiskey reviewer. They ended up just picking him up, and now he works for them, which is kind of nuts. But I think some of the things that have always made Ben cool is if you ever talk to him, he's very down to earth. Very cool guy, always willing to talk to you if you want to talk about whiskey, for sure. And just all around nice guy.
Very nice.
He's also like 6'9", which is super weird. The first time you meet him, you're like, oh, hello.
Yeah, it is. It's like, hi.
He's very tall.
Yes. So I'll start on this side. I don't know if you know the shape of this glass or not. If you don't, time to do some research.
It's a Denver and Liley glass.
This is Denver and Liley. So these gentlemen are in Australia. And
half of them are in Australia. Yes. Liley's still in Australia. Denver's actually living in Mexico.
Good for him.
Yeah, he's loving it there.
Yeah, I can imagine. So anyway, they've done some very good work in shaping whiskey and actually bourbon glasses too. I saw one of these bourbon glass floating around here earlier. I'm not sure where it went, but they do some extensive research. They develop this line of glassware, and there's some very good stories about that, and I think Wally's done a couple interviews with Denver. Absolutely.
So there are a lot of people who've created glassware and stuff like that, but Denver as a person, if you ever get a chance to meet him, you'd think, so this dude's developing this incredible hand-blown glassware, and you'd think like, oh, this guy's gonna be like untouchable, right? Like you think of most people that you meet, you're like, oh, this person does what? Like, wow. And then you get kind of enamored with the person, but if you talk to him, he's the most down-to-earth dude you could ever talk to. Like I've had a couple of phone conversations with him, and he's just ridiculous. And definitely hung out with him in person. He's a heck of a bowler.
Eventually I'll meet him.
Yeah, you definitely will.
But in the meantime, I'll be enjoying whiskey from these glasses and enjoying some of the stories and posts that he puts on Instagram because there's a lot of travel stuff. There's a lot about living in the moment, about enjoying your surroundings.
Absolutely.
And genuinely some real positivity behind that account, those stories, and even the glasses. So Denver and Liley.
That's the best. So give them a follow at Denver and Liley.
And not an ad.
Yeah, no, none of this is an ad.
He paid for this glass as I paid for my glass. Maybe he didn't pay for that glass. I don't know.
This one I didn't pay for.
Oh, so maybe it is an ad.
I paid for a lot of other stuff. But so we're moving on to the next glass. We've got Tonight's Poison. At Tonight's Poison on Instagram. If you guys have ever heard of him, his name is also Jas. He's a very cool guy, super sick. Sorry, that's a weird joke, but I won't do that again. But anyways, Jas is a super cool guy. He does this thing called Positivity Mondays on Instagram where he posts stories where he's just like chilling in his car, commuting on the way to work, but like trying to like get you hyped to just conquer the week. And so I'm not about that whole like hustle culture, because it seems a little ridiculous if you're not leaving time for relaxing in your life, because it's super important for your body, your mind, and your spirit.
Relax.
But Jazz, he definitely relaxes. He's so funny. Yeah. But he's like a super positive, just super nice guy, and definitely worth a follow. He does post a lot about Compass Box and a couple other brands because he works in distribution. But he definitely, I don't know, he adds light to where, people need it sometimes. It's nice. It's super nice.
It is. It's a nice positive account to follow, and he gets some interviews and things with some pretty heavy hitters across the industry. So you get educated and a positive influence. Positive.
The best.
So working in again. This is the Whiskey Library.
The Whiskey Library.
Hometown heroes for us, kind of. These gentlemen do some very cool things in the DC metro area.
Absolutely. That's their shtick, is like, so the Whiskey Library started out, it's Brian, Tim, and Greg. It's 3 dudes here in DC. And basically, they just want to do the same thing. It's literally positivity and bringing whiskey education to the forefront.
Yes.
A lot of people are trying to bring whiskey education to the forefront, but these guys are actually bringing it to the forefront.
Right.
So much so that a couple of brands work with them nonstop. Like I've noticed Compass Box works with them quite a bit. They just love them because they're willing to put the effort into learning about what's happening to these distillates, what's going on with the process, and then sharing that with other people. That's like literally the whole reason we're here on this channel also. Like that's what we do. And we've had them on the show before. So you guys have seen Brian and Tim before. Definitely know what's going on there.
Right. And these guys are actually doing some very good and very intriguing and educational barrel picking, as well as doing some of their own distilling, I think, at one of the local distillers. So
yes, there's a local distiller that we won't talk about. We won't name them.
No.
But basically, like 8 of us got together to throw in some money to a pile.
See, I didn't know that you were in.
Yeah, 8 of us got together to throw in money to a pile.
Breaking whiskey news.
Come up with our own mash bill, which in this case is just 100% malted rye.
Huge surprise.
And then age it. So we've actually been waiting on that barrel. The barrel just hit the 2-year mark, and it's pretty perfect.
Nice.
So we're just waiting a touch longer, and then probably going to pull it.
I better get a bottle of that as payment for putting up with.
Absolutely.
Anyway, Brian, Greg, and Tim, give Whiskey Library a follow
at the Whiskey
on
Library on Instagram.
You'll get edumacated in whiskey, and there's some good comedy going on there.
Heck yeah. They're very funny too.
They are.
Also, Brian's kid is like the cutest. She's so cute. But okay, and then, last up we've got, as you can see from this glass, it's just hair.
I think she designed it so that you can put your face in it
did.
Suddenly have a wig. And when you're almost bald like I am, having this amount of hair, it's a good thing.
It's daunting. It's daunting.
It's also daunting.
So
and the hair is so great.
It's too. No, her hair is so. Anyways, so it's Christina Kim, at Christina_Kim with 3 M's on the Instagrams. Christina's just been a super positive influence in the community. She actually, I know this is, sorry, Booker's Bry. Even before Booker's Bry, she brought some comedic videos to the community that just killed me.
Check the T-Rex videos.
No, check her breakfast video. Did you see that? The most important
video?
meal.
Yeah.
I mean, it's got some cursing in it, but like it's so solid. I died so many times watching that video.
I also enjoy her pizza eating live.
Oh yeah, no, she has live streams where she eats entire pizzas. Like I've done one with her. She's a monster.
She is.
But yeah.
Wally also gets super surprised by Christina when she shows up at random places.
Yes, that's happened a few times now.
Christina called me, said, "Hey, I know that you're meeting with Wally at this one Pennsylvania bar. I'm gonna just show up." And you should have seen Wally's face. Maybe you did if you already follow Christina.
Her level of whiskey stalking is through the roof.
She has a term for it. I think it's a little bit overboard, and I'm not going to mention it. But she's a positive influence in this community.
Absolutely,
we're glad that she's here, and it's a terrific follow on Instagram if you're not already. And I'll say this too, indicative of how positive and how passionate she is about whiskey. She's actually with Compass Box now.
Yep, she just got picked up with Compass Box.
I think she's the New Jersey rep, actually, right?
She covers more than New Jersey, but yeah.
Yeah, so her passion really shows through, and Compass Box obviously thought very highly of her and signed her. And I think that opinion of her, that high opinion, is pretty standard across.
She came out of nowhere, like in a year and a half. So there you go, guys. we just wanted to share these people with you because in the whiskey community, I mean, there are a lot of people who are doing really positive things that might be a little, like, not just a little, but a lot more low key than a lot of the people who are trying to like blow themselves up and make themselves look amazing. And like, that's fun too, I guess, to a degree, but the people who are really, really connecting with people in the background and are really creating meaningful relationships and friendships that are just, are going to last a lifetime. Like, these are some of those people.
Right.
So if you guys are looking for just awesome people who are also enthusiasts that are stoked about whiskey like you are, like I am, like Steve is, definitely just give them a follow on Instagram and start there and just see if you like their style of life and living. And then if you do, just reach out to them and let them know, like, hey, you're cool. I like you.
Give them a follow.
That's it. All right, awesome. If you guys have any... Yeah. Oh, were you going to say what I was going to say?
I was going to say the same thing. If you have someone on Instagram or YouTube that really speaks to you and you think is a huge positive influence in, hashtag the whiskey fabric, the whiskey fabric.
It's legit.
Drop that in the comments. Maybe Wally or I we're already following them, but put them in there for somebody else too. Like anybody you think might need some positive whiskey influence or just actually some comedy in their life. Drop that name in the comments. Go to our Instagram pages. Put it there too.
Yeah, absolutely. So like, comment, subscribe, tip jar for Patreon people. And then, that's it. Actually, you know what's funny is Charles is going to be so mad because I didn't throw him out there. But yes, Charles, I'm thinking of you too. Don't worry.
Drinking Caveman. We'll live up to his name after he sees that his glass
funny
is
because, so we're recording this before I go to Scotland with Drinking Caveman next week. So he has no idea anyways. This video's going to come out way later. So, but you'll see footage from Scotland. We're going to do some amazing things about a drone. I don't know how that works or what's going on there, but hopefully it goes well and I don't crash it again. So it should be a fun time in Scotland. We're going to have a whole lot of fun hanging with a bunch of other people, but half the fun we're having in Scotland was because of connecting with other whiskey people in the industry also. So I really appreciate that. I'd like to huge thank you to Heba of Edrington. No one knows her. She has an Australian accent. She is absolutely amazing and a gem in the industry, and she has helped us so much. So yes. So again, just like connect with people over whiskey and your life will be amazing.
It will be richer.
Yeah, it'll definitely be enriched.
Hashtag whiskey fabric.
Hashtag whiskey fabric. All right, so that's it, guys. All right. I don't know what to...
What else to say? Whiskey. People.
Whiskey and people. Booker's Rye is like Booker's...
I think there's a pun there. And we're done.
We're done.
We're done.